Nurse Jacinda Saldana was working her regular night shift at the prestigious King Edward VII Hospital in London, and one of the patients in her care for the past few days was Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, who was pregnant at that time with King George, the first royal baby. She was admitted to the King Edward VII the hospital for severe morning sickness. The nurse, Jacinda Saldana, who hails from a small town outside of Mangalore, India, was working at the King Edward's Hospital and had found this job after decades of working towards her passion for caring for the sick. Jacinda Saldana was born in Mangalore, India in 1966, and after finishing her nursing degree in India, Jacinda moved to the Kingdom of Oman. Eventually, her husband Benedict Barbosa and Jacinda moved from Oman to the UK somewhere around the year 2002, and they set up home in Bristol. By the time it was the year 2012, Jacinda and Benedict had two children. The older of the two was son Junel Saldana, and the younger a daughter Lisha Saldana, and both of them in the year 2012 were teenagers. Because King Edward VII Hospital is 2 hours away from the family home in Bristol, and that by the way is 2 hours one way, and with two changes of the tube, Jacinda continued to live through the week at the nurses' quarters inside the King Edward's Hospital in London, while her teenage children, Lisha, Janelle, and her husband Benedict, continued to live in Bristol. Each day, Jacinda would keep in touch with her family and coordinate their lives over the phone. And as any diligent mother would, before she would start her night shift every single evening, she would individually call Lisha, call Janelle, and call Benedict before clocking in at work. Around the year 2012, in the December of 2012, the royal family had recently announced that the Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton, was expecting the first child of the royal family, and she was hospitalized in the King George's Hospital, where Jacinda Saldana was not only working but she was also living there. On the morning of December 4th of 2012, Jacinda was on duty when the hospital receives a phone call from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles. Jacinda spoke to them on the phone as they were inquiring about the health of the Princess of Wales. For more detailed information, Jacinda hands over the phone to another nurse who oversaw the health and well being of the Duchess, and the name of the other nurse was Carmela. Imagine how nerve wracking it must be for both Jacinda and Carmela to get this phone call. A few hours after the phone call on December 5 of 2012, this call and all its intimate details were broadcasted on radio by an Australian radio station. Turns out the phone call was a coordinated stunt and a hoax orchestrated by two radio presenters, Mel Gregg, who at this point was already a radio jockey for about 12 years, Michael Kristen, who was 2 days old at this job. They were employed by a radio network which is called Today FM. In less than 48 hours after this phone call was broadcasted, the Indian nurse, Jacinda Saldana, was found hanging in her nurse's quarters at the King Edward's Hospital in London.